Hi guys, it is your girl Paige Cakes if you are nasty. Yes, it is Karmageddon. People have coined this as Karmageddon because we are experiencing the karma of the two previous Dramageddons. Oh my lord. Okay, so I thought I would come in and give some of my theories, my thoughts, my premonitions, all of that kind of stuff, because I've been talking a lot on Twitch. If you're not following me on Twitch, I will leave it somewhere in the description box down below. Definitely go and find me there because that is where I am 99.9% of the time now. I don't tend to make as many commentary videos. I do tend to be on Twitch making commentary over on that platform instead because it's a lot less toxic over there. And not just that, obviously, like we have like the best community and the best Discord server, and that's on period, sis. Okay, so where did this all start? It all started approximately this time last year, when Tati Westbrook released and dropped a massive bomb across social media, which was her Bye Sisters video. Tati Westbrook basically detailed an entire situation to do with her and James Charles, their friendship, relationship, and also kind of like their business relationship, as well as talking about their recent falling out to do with his lack of promotion of Tati Westbrook's vitamins and supplements, and his massive amounts of promotion to Sugar Bear Hair Company, who is ultimately Tati's competitor. That seemed to be the base of the argument. However, she threw in some little tidbits that nobody expected. She basically, I wouldn't say out and out said, but alluded to the notion that James Charles was a sexual predator and needed to be stopped, or at least taken down a few pegs to realize that this was completely unacceptable. This had been a complete and utter 180 from what we had come to expect from Tati Westbrook. Tati Westbrook pretty much has the persona on YouTube, or at least used to have the persona on YouTube, as kind of like YouTube's beauty mother, like the caring soul on YouTube who pretty much helped everybody. So when she took such a strong stance on social media, it really did shake up the beauty community as a whole, because nobody would ever expect something like this to come from Tati Westbrook. Now, there's a reason that I'm saying this, and I want you to put a pin in that idea because we're going to come back to it later. Okay, so next up we have the fact that Jeffree Star has been involved in all three Dramageddons. Dramageddon 1 was the original throuple divorce between himself, Manny MUA, and Laura Lee, which ultimately ended with everybody searching Laura Lee and Manny MUA's racist past, along with Nikita Dragun and Gabriel Zamora, and finding a hell of a lot of information regarding their tweets with severe racist undertones, basically coining them as no better than Jeffree Star and nullifying and devalidifying their thoughts and feelings towards Jeffree Star. We also have to remember that this was around the time that Shane Dawson had done his first set of documentaries regarding Jeffree Star and basically cleaned up Jeffree Star's public image. Everybody was kind of in Jeffree Star's pocket at that point. Jeffree Star came across as really relatable and caring, and the genuine blossom between the friendship of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, everybody actually really found endearing and lovely to see. Let's put a pin in that point too, that Jeffree Star has had involvements in all three of the Dramageddons. And next up we have that James has a problematic past also, but he's kind of been absolved by his youthfulness, the fact that he was a kid, from how he came into the beauty industry with the cover girl situation with Ellen, which we now know to be completely and utterly faked, to constant lies about copying people, to the Ebola scandal, to even copying people's vocal arrangements on songs, to even going against one of YouTube's biggest pioneers in the beauty industry and influencers being paid for their influence, Marlene Estelle, for even going against her and coming across as a severely entitled young little boy. But once again, like I said, everybody just seemed to get over that because he's a kid. He's a kid, he can learn, he can grow. Even though he has said some horrendously bad things and a lot of things that people kind of glazed over that had horrendous racial undertones. I digress. Let's put a third pin in the fact that James Charles has a problematic past that has been absolved by youthfulness. Moving on. Next up, we have the fact that Shane Dawson also has had a problematic past, but that was absolved by the fact that it was a different time. Whilst I can completely understand that YouTube was a different space in general in terms of content creation and the freedom that YouTube gave its content creators instead of the censorship that we are experiencing right now, and Shane Dawson has come up into confrontation with his past over and over again, from when he had to say that he's never slept with his cat or had any kind of sexual relations with his cat, to kissing dogs on camera, which just makes everyone feel uncomfortable, to making child pornography jokes. Just a lot of his humour seemed to rely on shock value, but he was one of very few creators actually doing it, and he's had to persistently apologise for all of the things it is that he's done. Unfortunately, there isn't an apology that is one size fits all.
Fluid! Oh, bitch monkey woman, you're the best!
Okay, so let's put the fourth and final pin into Shane Dawson had a problematic past, but it was absolved by the fact that it was quote unquote a different time. So why is any of this relevant? Recently, black YouTuber Cam Lester pointed out that Shane Dawson wasn't as nice as he seemed.
And we were just chilling. We were talking to Rich Lux again and a few other people, and I was talking to Jeffrey, and I remember Shane Dawson called and he was going off about James Charles and something and telling, just cursing James out, and I was just kind of taken back because I've never seen Shane Dawson like that, and he was just going in on James. And I was like, oh, is there there's something brewing, there's something going on with James and Shane and Jeffrey. So I was just uncomfortable, and I just was like, I'm gonna stay over here.
And then obviously more recently, Black Lives Matter has made everything so much more prevalent, making the conversation of race and tokenism such a big deal right now.
I just felt like it wasn't a friendship. It was never a friendship in the beginning to start with. It was always something like I was kind of like the token black kid.
And Cam wasn't the only person. We have Jeffree Star's ex-best friend speaking about him and talking about the situation between them, as well as some other boys in beauty who have been taken off Jeffree Star's PR list, who feel personally as if Jeffree Star has been getting rid of a lot of black content creators from his PR roster. So what do we know right now? Well, we know that Jeffree Star is a sinking ship. People are outing all of his business, from Sanders Kennedy releasing text voice messages, as well as my DM regarding him wanting to do a PR cleanup of the Davi Vanity situation, his best friend Cam, the beauty boys getting removed from PR, Ashley Kyle. It's so many people at this point are saying that Jeffree Star is not the good person that he has been promoted to be by Shane Dawson. So essentially, by association, Shane Dawson is going down with this sinking ship. But we also have to remember that both Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star both have a racist past here on the internet. So Shane, in essence, giving up on Jeffree Star would almost be as if he was giving up on himself. The point I'm trying to make here is that everything that everybody is doing is self-serving, even as far as their relationships with drama channels and how they are more than willing to utilize and manipulate and steer a conversation in a completely different direction as long as the drama channels continue to perpetuate their personal narratives. Now let's go to Ashley Kyle's involvement with Jeffree Star around the time of Dramageddon 2. Which we know as the Bi Sisters moment. If you don't already know this, Ashley Kyle is a drama channel who had a significant amount of involvement in the Dramageddon 2. She details her experiences with Jeffree Star and the fact that Jeffree Star was feeding her tea and information before it was about to drop on social media, meaning the exchange of clout was very strong, i.e. payroll, because she was able to become at the top of the search, at the top of the algorithm in relation to anything Jeffree Star related, because she was the fastest person with the video. She benefited huge amounts financially in Dramageddon 2. Let's take a look at what it is that she had to say.
A lot of people are coming out right now with their experiences with Jeffree Star. Has that kind of nudged me and pushed me? Absolutely. I'll be honest with you guys, I feel used and I feel manipulated, basically, but you will see why. On April 29th, Jeffree Star texted me and said, there are so many dark things that are going to come to light soon, and none of them involve me. Just buckle up. So I texted him back and I said, oh no, I hope not, James. I can't make another video on him in a row, but I'm ready. I've been sent so much stuff today just about him. I am at a loss. And he said, it's all going to come out. Whatever you think that means, it's 10 times worse. He's a monster. So I said, oh my God, Jeffree, you have me shook right now. You were so close to him. And he said, we all were. Shane, Tati, the Dolans, Emma, we are all done. And I said, wow, that's disappointing. I had a lot of hope for him. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Well, that's because Jeffree Star had sent me a voice note. Now, in that voice memo was when he basically said to me that James Charles was a point blank period. He did not go into details at the time, but he basically, that was what he implied. So I said, oh my God, that's disgusting. And he said, we're all questioning if he has a soul. Jeffree Star texted me again and he said, it's far from over. Gage got out safe. And that was after we had uploaded our video where James had sent us all of the text messages between him and Gage. So he said, wait for the others. James isn't a real normal thinking human being. It's scary. And then this is something that when I was going through for this video, I caught this and I was like, because so many people have been saying Shane was involved. You know what I mean? He mentioned it on Mom's Basement. Shane was involved. And I was like, it didn't even dawn on me. Like, I had these messages. He said, Shane and I feel like this weekend something bad is going to happen with all of this. James is playing with so much fire right now. Why does Shane and you feel like that? You know what I mean? Like, it didn't dawn on me at the time, like that it does now. You know what I mean? What is Shane's involvement? Shane had no reason to really be involved in this. So then I put 2 and 2 together with the Mom's Basement, and now Cam coming out and talking about Shane cussing out James Charles. Yeah, I kind of put 2 and 2 together now, and it all makes sense. He goes on to say, Manny 2.0 calling it now, wait for someone to upload their video on James this week. You're gonna gag. So we all knew a video was coming. And with everything that had happened with Tati, we all knew that it was going to be Tati. And while I do not have the text messages, I can tell you right now that I received a voice memo from Jeffree Star at one point before Tati's video saying that someone from Seattle was going to be making a video. Now, do I know if he was referencing Tati or the waiter from Seattle? I don't remember. I don't recall. He didn't say. Now, like I said, I don't have the receipts for that because it came in a voice note. Jeffree Star's not stupid. Only certain things were sent in text messages. But then he goes on to tell me that someone was going to upload this video this week. I was gonna gag. I know a lot of you think that we helped plan it. As you can see from my messages, I didn't plan anything. I just knew about stuff like right before stuff would happen so that I could be ready to make a video. He said, I'm about to drop the most jaw-dropping statement. 1 second. So that was when he went on the Snapchat rant after he sent the Predator tweet. I knew this Snapchat rant was coming. So yeah, he told me it was coming. Obviously, that's how I got my video up. It got millions of views. It's terrible. So I said, okay, waiting. And he said, done. I just beheaded him with 1 tweet. And I said, oh. Also, on May 13th, he said, I'm turning off Sisters Apparel website shortly, cutting ties after a business call with my team. So I knew about that in advance. May 17th, me addressing James and straight men are on Snapchat, just finished. So heads up on that. And then we're going to come to May 18th, and that was the day before Jeffree dropped his video. Now, this is something that I really want to discuss. On that day, I had a phone call with Jeffree, and he was explaining to me that he had a voice note from someone that I shall rename nameless, and that he didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know what type of video to do the next day. And I told him basically that it's not your story to tell. That's what I told him. It is not your story to tell. And I also told him, but at the same time, without saying it, are you covering for a possible? So I told him that that was a choice he had to make. That was a video choice he had to make, and he had to decide for himself what he was going to do, you know, and ultimately he decided to make the video that he made, and that is when we're going to get into those messages. So on May 19th at 6:40 p.m. he said hi, and I said, hey babe, how are you? And he said, I'm uploading in 30. He said, it's nothing that you or anyone else is expecting. I'm in a good headspace. Lastly, one of the biggest questions I've seen on Twitter is, how much money did you guys make during Dramageddon? You guys want to know what being on Jeffree's payroll was for me. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. This isn't to flash money. This isn't to throw it in your face. The answer to that question was $37,162.24. That is what I made during Dramageddon 2 that May. And it's not worth it. It's dirty money.
So Ashley Kyle showed screenshots between herself and Jeffree Star, and basically he gave her a heads up of literally everything to do with Dramageddon 2 and the tea that was going to be spilled. And he's had involvements with several drama channels spilling tea, as well as letting drama channels know ahead of time regarding the voice memos that he said that he would release, that still to this day have not been released. So let's create a new set of pins to point. Point number one is that Jeffree Star was/is in frequent contact with several drama channels. We know for a fact that he is in current contact with Rich Lux. They consider each other friends, as well as obviously his previous connection to Ashley Kyle, also his connections to Dustin Dailey, as well as Nick Snyder. Beyond that, I don't know who else it is that he has spoken to or has frequent connections with. Me, myself, I have never had that kind of privilege. So let's take a look at the second point, which is the fact that James Charles was involved with several different drama channels around the time of the Gage Gomez drama. Now, if you don't know about the Gage Gomez drama, essentially James Charles was seen at Coachella with a guy, and he was a model with a small following. His name was Gage Gomez. And basically, James Charles told the entire internet that he had been mistreated by Gage Gomez. And then the internet went to attack this young man, which actually led to Gage Gomez coming out with his side of the story in a video. This was prior to Tati's Bye Sister video. Hence why you heard from Ashley Kyle's messages between herself and Jeffree Star that Gage got out safely. Well, around the time of all of that drama, a bunch of different drama channels were included in a massive group message that they believed to be James Charles. And what was sent to them was iPhone messages between James Charles and Gage Gomez. Now, they believe it to be James Charles that sent them this tea purely because James Charles was in blue and Gage was in grey, meaning that if you know anything about iPhones, that it must have been James Charles who took the screenshot. Whether he delivered it to somebody to pass it on, who knows? But all we know is that James Charles definitely released these screenshots.
Because earlier this morning, I went onto Twitter, as one does when they first wake up, and I clicked into my DMs, and there was a big beauty influencer in them. I opened up the DM and saw that Ashley Kyle, Dustin Dailey, T-Spill, and Rich Lux were all in this DM with me. And as it started going on, there were leaked messages from James Charles and Gage. Now, I am just going to read all the messages for all of you and let you guys form your opinion. Before I start reading all the messages, I do just want to clear up that Gage will be the gray and James Charles will be the blue.
Take away from that what you want, whether it was James Charles himself sending this information over to several drama channels or whether it was somebody doing it on his behalf. It really doesn't matter because it's very obvious that the messages were definitely screenshotted by James Charles and sent to someone, meaning that James Charles himself also was trying to navigate and utilize drama channels to steer his own personal narrative. So let's pin the point that James Charles involved several different drama channels in a group chat to share and distribute his receipts. Allegedly, of course. Let's move on to the next point of Tati Westbrook showing her Bye Sisters video to two separate drama channels that we're aware of before its release. Take a look at what it is that Tati had to say in her Bye Sisters video.
To be In full disclosure, I have spoken with 2 drama channels that reached out, and one of them is Here for the Tea, the other is Tea Spill. They're both making videos.
So let's pin the third point that Tati Westbrook was in contact with drama channels prior to her video dropping. So much so that one of the drama channels in question actually ended up posting a video 45 minutes after Tati dropped hers. Meaning once again that they were able to get themselves at the top of the algorithm. An exchange that financially benefited the channels in question. Okay, so next up, the next pinned point, I guess, would be that Shane Dawson gave several drama channels his palette and also had Nick Snyder and Rich Lux over at his house. As you guys know, I, amongst a bunch of different other drama channels, received the Shane Dawson Conspiracy Palette Collection. And honestly, from my personal experience speaking to Shane Dawson, we've never really had extended conversation. So when he asked for my PO box address to send the Conspiracy Collection over to, I kind of questioned him on it. I asked him why he was going to give me something, and I said, I don't understand because I'm a drama channel. And his response to me basically was, you're more to me than that. Which was just, I don't know, felt a little bit insincere because I was like, we don't talk. Like, it was just so bizarre to me. But I, amongst other people, received the Shane Dawson Conspiracy Collection. I truly believe that Shane Dawson felt as if the drama channels will promote it and love the product, then there will be no negative press surrounding this launch. Well, he didn't bank on the fact that I would be brutally fucking honest, and I really wasn't feeling the palette, and even to this day I struggle to pick it up because it's just not that great for people of colour, especially my dark skin tone. And I think that Shane Dawson definitely knows how to navigate the drama channels and definitely knows how to keep himself in the good books. Let's pin the point that Shane Dawson gave several different drama channels his latest palette and also allowed 2 drama channels at his personal home. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we all know that all parties involved have had some kind of correspondence with drama channels. Whether it's James Charles being involved in a group chat, allegedly, Jeffree Star feeding information to some channels, Tati Westbrook showing channels her video before its release, or Shane Dawson avoiding negative press by befriending some drama channels. These people want us to believe that they want no involvement in drama, and I just don't believe it for 1 second. Now, I'm not saying that utilizing drama channels is a negative thing. If you've got a side to share, then by all means contact a drama channel to share your side. But it just seems as if this was more manipulation and tactics and chess moves by all of these players, rather than genuine concern for the correct information being out there to the universe. It seemed more like they wanted to control the narrative, and that's the only problem that I have with this. So remember what I said about Shane Dawson wanting to control negative press by overwhelming friendliness? Well, I feel as if that's exactly what has happened once again. If you guys aren't aware, I'm sure you already are, but Shane Dawson made a post basically detailing how he feels about the upcoming video, and basically alluded to the notion that he was very much aware that Tati Westbrook may be making a video. So he wanted to get ahead of the drama, state his side first before the other side can say anything to contaminate his audience's perception of him. So this is what he had to say. Pause to read if you're interested. So as you can tell, and as you can probably imagine, this did not go very well for Shane Dawson. It seems like there is a headhunting patrol of people who just want to see Jeffree Star go down, and rightly fucking so. However, people pointed out Shane's lack of disassociation from Jeffree, and also the fact that he felt as if it was okay for people to feel like they were the judge, jury and executioner of humbling James Charles. People also felt as if he'd kind of held himself a little bit of a pity party, and people just weren't vibing with it. They felt that ultimately he had cashed in his final check from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and now he wanted to dip out of the beauty community and wipe his hands clean. when his hands was just as dirty as everybody else's. So knowing all the points that we know now, I'm about to give you guys my thoughts, my theories, my premonition. Aphrodite, I'm coming for your job, sis. And honestly, I'm not sure whether Tati's going to come out with a video. This is a rumour that has spiralled from a few channels who have been dropping receipts on Twitter for the past couple of days. But whether she makes a video or not, I'm not 100% sure. But if she does, my theory is that Tati will come out and say that she said exactly what the F she said about James Charles. I don't think that she will waver what she says about James Charles. I don't think she will change her mind and overwhelmingly go in towards support of James Charles. I don't see that for one moment. I think that we might find out that Shane's involvement in Dramageddon 2 was actually a lot more than what we were led to believe. Shane Dawson, as we all know, teased in his most recent Jeffree Star documentary that he was going to be showing exactly what went down in regards to Dramageddon, and that didn't happen. And people were left very disappointed watching the series to finally see how it looked from an outsider's perspective, from a person who was friends with all of these people. However, that's not what we saw at all. So it's very possible that Shane Dawson actually had a lot more involvement, and showing this could change people's opinions of what they think of Shane Dawson if he had more of an instigator role in all of this. That's very clear to me because Shane has already preemptively made a post to excuse himself from the narrative that ultimately made him look like a money-hungry person. I think that we may find out that Jeffree and Shane influenced Tati to share her side, because as we stated previously, she was the one out of all of them that had a good girl persona. So hearing that kind of information from Tati's mouth probably gave their story a lot more validity. Because if you remember, she was originally going to handle things in regards to the Sugar Bear hair situation in private to James Charles. I personally theorise that Jeffree Star probably showed both Tati and Shane the voice notes, and that's when the collusion happened, that they would do something to stop the situation. Because I'd seen in the Mom's Basement interview, Jeffree Star had no problem showing Banks what it is he had on his phone, in private of course. I believe that what foiled Jeffree Star's original plan is that he did the evil villain thing. And the only way I can explain it is like when you see an evil villain in like a spy movie of some kind and they tell you what their dastardly plan is before they actually do the deed. Whilst they're explaining their plan to the protagonist, the hero is able to foil their plan in every single way because the villain has detailed every single thing it is that they were going to do. If you remember from the James Charles video, his rebuttal to the Bye Sisters video, he had a text message from Jeffree Star that said the following.
Reason is going on camera shortly to finally tell the world how you tried to molest him and touch him in his sleep and made him uncomfortable for months, you sick motherfucker. Next, Zach will be going on camera to tell how twisted and sick you were, trying to get him to like you and then make him feel bad when he didn't want to send you photos back. Then Sam from Seattle will be joining me and Cameron to talk about you trapping him in his hotel room. You need to be locked in prison for a very long time. You need the internet taken away from you. You are a danger to society.
Something that was always interesting to me surrounding this whole Dramageddon 2 situation was how after James Charles made his rebuttal video, which was an amazing rebuttal video might I add, the language and vocabulary used around James Charles suddenly shifted. People basically said that it was a lie, or it's been proven to be a lie, or those false allegations against James Charles. And whilst I am not the kind of person who's like, yeah, there's an allegation, let's believe it wholeheartedly, I don't really believe also that the allegations were disproved. So I don't know how everybody is giving him this freedom pass when essentially nothing has been confirmed nor denied. He was just able to rebuttal what it was that Jeffree Star was saying. There was nothing proven for these allegations or against these allegations, which makes me feel like these allegations shouldn't even be put into the universe if it didn't come back with proof. But dismissing those who came forward with their side of the story as clout chasers, I don't know. I kind of feel as if the genders were reversed, would the internet still be reacting the same way? I'm not sure they would have given the other person the benefit of the doubt. We also have to remember the waiter from Seattle actually found themselves back at James Charles's house several weeks later. Now, I don't care how much of amends I've made with somebody, but somebody who literally called me a predator to the entire internet, I would not be having them at my home. A mutual space to talk things out, yeah, I could see that, but my home? F out of here. I theorise that there could be a possibility that the Dolan twins, who allegedly the tea is about, backed out of sharing their story after they saw how successful James Charles' video had become. I theorise that Jeffrey decided that he couldn't out the twins without their consent, and then decided to make their never doing this again video. So Tati, YouTube's good girl, turned into the Wicked Witch of the West for the past year, and both Shane and Jeffrey no longer follow her. She was put forward as bait and essentially fed to the wolves. So I feel as if this does happen, that Tati will explain her position. The internet will turn on James and Jeffrey and Shane. I think that if this does happen, this could be Tati's redemption and can at least give some context to her fall from grace. I theorise that if she does spill the tea about Grace and Dolan's involvement in all of this, that we could possibly have a situation on our hand where Jeffree Star's hand is forced to show the internet exactly what was said that made them turn so strongly against James Charles.
And push them together, push the tips together.
Don't say that.
I'm not pushing the tips together.
Stop.
And then my stick can go into the box.
Oh, there's a stick in the box.
No.
Jesus Christ. Happy birthday.
Ultimately, the worst part to come out of Dramageddon 2 was the Predator allegations, and I honestly don't know that if Tati Westbrook does decide to speak on her side of the story, if she'll ever be able to talk about it without navigating that situation. So if she does decide to make this video, then tea will definitely be spilled. I feel like her video that she made, which was really inconspicuous, left with loads of different receipts and all that kind of stuff, she really did allude to the notion that she was definitely ready to speak her side. People have theorized that she could possibly be talking about a pregnancy or a new baby. I hope that it's more happiness than sadness that she's about to experience. And honestly, the idea that she could be pregnant is a hell of a lot more refreshing than what's being experienced on Twitter at this present moment. But I also feel that if all of this was false and she definitely was not going to make a video, she would have at least made it known somehow, some way on the web. Because she knows exactly how stories can spiral out of control. And currently, mainstream media is talking about it. I think that Shane Dawson's lack of disassociation from Jeffree Star is ultimately going to hurt his career. Because now everybody who's ever bought the conspiracy palette feels as if he only did it for a quick buck and he had absolutely no interest in continuing it. He basically said, gosh, this community is so toxic, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. But yet you were very much aware how toxic the beauty community was prior to being involved. That's how you were able to establish the drama channels and their influence on the beauty community as a whole. You wanted to control the press. You wanted to control the narrative. Just be real about it. Honestly, I don't see any real winners in this situation. I just see a hell of a lot of losers. Hence why I'm still not sure whether Tati's going to come out with her video. That whether it's Dramageddon 1, Dramageddon 2.0 or Carmageddon, the one consistent common denominator is Jeffree Star. Anyway, that's about it for my thoughts on this whole entire situation in this video. Tell me what it is that you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Why do you disagree? Definitely tell me your thoughts because I can't wait to hear them. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as subscribe, and also don't forget to follow me on Twitch. That's where I am 99.9% of the time, so definitely check me out there. And until next time, it's been Paige, or Paige Cakes if you're nasty. Bye.